Today's video is really special. I got to meet the Prime Minister Mia Mottley, and here is why this was so exciting for me. So I got the opportunity to go to CARIFESTA in Barbados, and one night at the Grand Market, I got close enough to get a picture with her. What happened after gave me goosebumps. So she asked me where I was from, and I explained that I live in Nevis. I am a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, but I was born in Kenya, and I moved to the Caribbean in 1998. So she then showed me the Kenyan flag on her bracelet. Imagine that, out of all the countries in the world. Such a full circle moment for me. But I've also added a clip of her powerful message to youth. She brought students from across the region together for a student jamboree so they could learn from each other. Her words truly inspired us, so I had to share them with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I see Guyana. I see St. Kitts and Nevis. At the end of the day, this is what shapes you. Education is not only about what is in a book. Education is about all of these things. You're coming together, you're mixing from people from other islands. You're making sure that when you mix, you understand a little bit more. Dominic, you know a little more about Bahamas now, no?
Yes.
And St. Kitts, you know a little more. That you already know a lot about St. Lucia and St. Vincent, but you know a little more about Guyana now. This is what, and all of you know a little more about where? Barbados. So that this is what helps shape you. And if I had my way, I would love to be able to see that every summer, at least 1,000 Caribbean people from each country go and visit and spend at least 2, 3, 4 weeks in another country. Because you can't take for granted. We are lucky and we are blessed that we have the ability to live in a free country. And don't believe that old-time thing. How many wars have gone across the world now? Who can tell me about the war in Africa? Which is the country in Africa at war? Sudan. Yeah, Burkina Faso, Cuba, they're not at war. So Sudan and South Sudan. Who can tell me what's the country at war in Europe? Because everybody got that in our faces every day and forget to tell you about Sudan and South Sudan. But you guys will learn about that, because it's not only what the press pushes at you, it's what you go and develop and discern and listen and find for yourself. And who can tell me about where's the war in the Middle East? You understand? And what's the biggest here in Palestine? That people don't have access to what? Not only food, they start first with what? They don't have access to their own country. They don't have their own state. All of you are waving flags because you have the ability to be able to define yourself either in terms of an independent state or in terms of an associated state if you are not yet independent. In Palestine, they're fighting for the right for self-determination, just as in South Africa. What happened in South Africa before Nelson Mandela? Anybody?
Apartheid.
Apartheid. And what apartheid meant?
Segregation.
Segregation for
White
who?
and black.
Huh?
Segregation between the white and the black.
And what is it? So the ones who don't know what segregation between whites and blacks mean, because it just means separate and apart, but were they equal?
No.
Who would treat who?
The whites were privileged and the white.
So that they believe that one race was superior
Than the other.
Correct? Yeah. How many of you have ever listened to Bob Marley's song War? Alright, before you leave here this morning to go to Mansa Musa, because Mansa Musa is fundamentally the story of one of the greatest African kingdoms back centuries ago. And he was reputed to be the richest man in the world. But if you listen to a lot of the rhetoric post-slavery and during slavery, you would believe that nothing good can come out of Africa, and nothing good can come out of India, and nothing good can come out of those countries that were colonies, because a handful wanted to subjugate and believe that they were superior. I tell you these things because freedom is not a constant state. freedom is something that you have to wake up every day and defend. And we see it more and more and more in today's world. I never thought that we would be seeing the level of wars that we are seeing in Africa, in Europe, in the Middle East, and now we have warships in the Caribbean or Venezuela. I'm telling you, freedom is not something you can take for granted. Your grandparents or great-grandparents 100 years ago went through 2 world wars. They went through the Spanish flu, which is like the COVID epidemic. It shut down the whole world. So I want you to recognize that if you are not conscious, you are going to be a pawn of somebody else. And part and parcel of what CARIFESTA is about is to awaken your senses, to make you aware, and to make you understand that resilience comes from creativity. And the creativity may start with a fella painting, or a fella rapping, or a woman dancing, or whatever, or even in terms of how you cook. But creativity doesn't end there. Creativity will also cause you to start to think outside of the box. And more, you have to think outside of the box and not just believe that because it was done so, year after year after year after year is how it will be done going forward. I'm going to take 2 or 3 questions from you just to make sure that I ain't talking south and you north. But I wanted to say those things to you and to contextualize why you are here. I'm happy that everybody having a ball, but in everything in life, keep your head on and keep focused. And if you ever forget where you are going, you can end up anywhere, not true? You can end up at the top, you can end up in a grave. You can end up being very successful in whatever you want to do, or you can end up just ambling through and next thing you know, wait, 10 years of my life gone already? You understand? So I need you to be purposeful. I need you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is my purpose in life? And I need you to remember one thing. Whatever that purpose is, the one currency that will always carry you to the top is the habit of excellence, the habit of winning, and the habit of caring. Caring. Dr. Taylor is a preacher. He has presided over many a funeral. And whenever you go to a funeral, ask him, how many people talk about how much money people got? Or do they talk about what type of person the person was? What type of life they lived? And that is the currency you want, not just the one that can spend and go immediately. Because cash can come in your hand and cash can go out in minutes. But the currency of a good name, the currency of a good character is priceless. Nothing can change it. And you know it from primary school because you see the ones in primary school, people who behave bad consistently, what you always say. You understand? You will talk about it, you will reflect on it, the teachers will talk about it, the parents will talk about it. But what you need is for you to determine your purpose and then commit to a habit of excellence, winning, caring. That is how the West Indies cricket team dominated, and ironically, I'm going to share the run, I'll send it to you over the time again, but a rare clip that they had with Viv Richards and CLR James that's going viral this morning. And they talk, and CLR James, who is one of the greatest Caribbean writers, philosophers of the 20th century from Trinidad and Tobago, spoke about the fact that one of the reasons why we did well in cricket is that we have a tradition of excellence. We have an institution. Why Jamaica does well in athletics, because they have it. And each of your countries, Grenada, St. Lucia, all of us are now building that institution in sports across the board. So I want you to remember these things. Questions? First 3 to come.